Amazon Web Services is also called AWS. AWS provides IT infrastructure and services in the cloud. Large upfront of investments in hardware or spending time in bringing up hardware for IT infra is not required. Just click and go. Let's consider an example. An organization wants to bring up servers of different types like Ubuntu, Red Hat and Windows for a project X. Let's say the project is it's going to run for 6 months to 1 year, the scheduled time for the project. Purchasing hardware and monitoring them can be somewhat tedious for a small type of organizations also, because the requirements might not be clear at this point of time, or there is no clear picture of how many devices or servers or the hardware items to be purchased. If the organization considered the AWS, just log into the AWS, select the type of the servers which are required and the type of storage is required, and spun the servers upon the requirement and start using. It's so simple. And the organization can also work out in scaling the servers later or shrinking the servers upon the requirements received or changed dynamically. In all other means it is the same, no change at all. AWS doesn't restrict the type of data to be uploaded. Users can share the data supporting the critical operations of their business, or applications which are sharing the photos or videos to the internet users. AWS also provides rapid access and low cost model. The agenda of this session is, let us discuss about what is AWS, what are the AWS regions and the management access list, and the console, AWS console, and we'll discuss about the pricing as well as the free tier in the AWS. Normally AWS provides 750 hours of free time. AWS is the group of services also known as cloud services provided by Amazon. Amazon provides the IT infrastructure like CPU and storage as service instead of a commodity. Unlike traditional IT infrastructure, there is no need for upfront hardware procurement based on the projected usage. Instead of hundreds of servers to spun up physically, we can spun them in few minutes when the traffic is also at peak. This saves cost to the companies and provides an opportunity for the organization or user to focus more on their core business instead of worrying about procuring the hardware resources. That's the beauty of AWS. A region is a distinct geographical location where Amazon has its infrastructure. All the regions are designed to be independent of each other and are separated with different power sources, different internet connectivity, and geographical locations. AWS has its infrastructure located in that region. The person can select the AWS region based on the proximity, the cost of the services, and the compliances laws. And the next one is availability zone. An availability zone is a distinct location within a region. Each zone has its own power source and cooling, hence designed to be insulated from failures in other regions. Communication between regions is done over the internet, and communication between the availability zones is done with the help of Amazon's high-speed network. So let us talk about the storage as a service. This is one of the type of the service provided by the AWS. The first one is S3, Amazon Simple Storage Service. This is a highly available, secure, scalable, durable, limitless cloud storage accessible through Web Service API. S3 replicates the data across multiple data centers. The next one is Storage Gateway. The AWS Storage Gateway is a service that provides secure integration of data between an organization's on-premises storage and AWS storage. This is a virtual machine that you deploy in your data center, which sits in between your application and your primary storage system. This makes the copy of the data both on the storage system and on AWS storage. AWS import and export. This enables us to move massive amounts of data in and out of AWS using the actual storage devices. These are shipped to and from the data centers and Amazon. Data centers are nothing but the organization or the individual data center. This type of service saves bandwidth and as well as the time. The next one is Elastic File System. AWS EFS is a type of file storage service used for AWS EC2 instance. It provides us with a simple interface for creating and configuring file systems easily and quickly. The next one is CloudFront. Amazon CloudFront is a web service that makes it easy to distribute content with low latency via global network edge locations. CloudFront will integrate with other AWS services products to give businesses and developers in a simple and easy way to distribute the content to the end users. The next one is Glacier. Glacier is a long-term backup and data achieving. This is highly durable and is extremely low-cost storage service. AWS Glacier is optimized for infrequently accessed data. AWS Console. This is the AWS console. Once we log into the AWS, we'll see the console like this, and we can see compute, storage, database. Under that we have the services. In compute we have EC2, and in storage we have S3, EFS, Glacier, storage gateway. All these four are we discussed earlier in the previous slide.